There's lose, draw, and win. So the aim is to play and win the game. Of course, a game that is going to be for Nduparaka Football Club. Our style of play, exactly the team needs to put it right there is one thing that I can really give you assurance of. So it's one of the biggest thing that you should be talking about. But all in all, yeah, the team is fully packaged. The team is prepared well and ready for the game. Of course, ahead of the encounter today, yes, we went with a number of players who, of course, played last season. Last week when we played our fourth game at home, and it really showed a lot of inspiration to the fans, to the stakeholders, to the people who are right there. But all in all, I want to say Nduparaka Football Club as an entity is ready for the game against Lugazi. The aim is to win, because winning this game today takes us in a very better position, which keeps our hopes of qualification alive. And of course, putting it right there extends us so close to the table toppers, or the top three. So every other morale in the camp is to see that the team really gets in there. Yes, the team started very well. They went to they left Arua on Wednesday and reached Kampala. Of course, we have our place where we stay in Kampala. That's where we were residing for all this time. And then after, of course, we had to have training sessions in Kampala before today morning. We crossed over to Lugazi. As I talk right now, the team is in Lugazi. They had lunch earlier on, and probably the mind is now set, and they are at the pitch. But of course, a team member available for selection probably is one thing I can give you, the fans and the viewer, or the supporters. Jiga Ahmedin, the goalkeeper, is well and fit for selection. Okello Matthias, of course, the second choice goalkeeper. Simba Sabir is ready for selection. Adrico Alex Gaspar is ready for selection. Ajiga Michael is ready for selection. Mungufen Jonathan is ready for selection. Ndifuna, of course, Bernard, Mahad Swali, and Yakin Rashid, not forgetting Mahanje Davis, are all ready for selection. But if you look at the other names, Mandela Malis, names like Rothomio Derek, Andama Jr., Bida Ezra. Remember, Junior couldn't play last week's game because of injury, of course, and fatigue that the doctors or the physio thought so much that he should take a leave. And Faizo Zelino, and then you have Jariako James and Ade Brian, Cesar Olega, Boy Fazlino, all ready for selection. So it is on to now the coach, Samson Sizo Kuti, and the technical team to make sure who is coming in there. But of course, the technical team has more of the pace, and of course, how exactly they want their team to look against the Lugazi team. So we shall be expecting a fully selection that has come through right there ahead of the game. You know, every department has what exactly you need to do, and it is what I want to leave into the hands of the coaches that they might give the best right there. So it's one of the biggest things we're talking about right now, as of course the team of Nduparaka face Lugazi. Lugazi is doing well. They were at number 3, but of course right now they are only, I think, slightly at number 4. And us winning this would mean a lot for us, because Lugazi has around, I think, 13 points. 13 or 15 points. Yeah, 15 points, I think. Then we winning this against Lugazi would bring us close to them to 15 points. So it is one big do-or-die battle that we are going to be facing today. So I expect, of course, a tough game, a tough contest, because Lugazi is home. Lugazi had a splendid performance against the West Nile club that I was a peer at, that is Calvary. I watched their game entirely last season. They had they have the best, one of the best pitches, of course. They have, the turf is okay. It's good for passing the ball and making sure that the ball works out. Those are some of the big things that you're seeing from Lugazi. So I'm expecting a very, very quite interesting game for the two sides, because the team Arua-based Green Light Ababet Stadium, Nduparaka, is one big one. Why I've named all that is for those who probably could be not knowing where we have come from. So this is one big thing that I want to say, that we are going to be, because we're enforcing and we're looking into this game being our first, of course, history to be made for this season. You know, winning today will be a history made, because Onduparaka has, how do you go out without winning, and then you're getting wins home? That will be historical. So it's one big thing that we're expecting. But I want to say all the technical team traveled. The last technical team member traveled yesterday night. That is Coach, of course, Stephen. The one, because he's engaged with the forces most of the times. So he was on duty yesterday, which of course he finished and then had to go, because that is one thing, that game reading and the planning, everything will be coming in there. So this would be one thing. But the only thing is now how the team is going to be assembling. Someone told me, oh, and don't you think we need to leave our lineup of that played at home, like we don't touch it, the likes of Caesar should start and the rest and the rest. I'm like, hey, that is not my job. My job is to come and speak for you and of course avail you with what exactly the management, the team has gotten in there. So exactly, that is how Onduparaka is prepared. That's how ready Onduparaka is. We're expecting a win. As the public relation, I can confirm you that. It will now depend back to the pitch yet again. That's one big thing that we want to give you right there. So exactly, that's how exactly the games will be.
So coming to you specifically, the verdict, what are you going to witness ahead of this encounter? Are we going to see this time Caterpillars breaking the zinc come this evening?
I don't know why I've been having this little instinct around me telling me that probably this could be the very time that Onduparaka is speaking its first away win. I have been saying this the whole week. Today is a Friday, and yesterday, remember, we said this, that Onduparaka could be picking its very first win ahead of this season, because they've been winning all their home games, and then a lot has been happening with them as they have been taking part in their away games. So possibly this could be the chance that we could be seeing Onduparaka picking in the very first away win, if at all they play their cards very well, to which the lineup that the PRO gave us a few minutes back. I think if that lineup, okay, he gave us players that were available for selection. We've not seen the full lineup for the people that will be available to take part in the pitch from game 1 up to 90 minutes there. But then with the names that he already gave us, with the people that are available for selection, trust me, that is a very good one, by the way. It's quite a very good one. A lot of the key names are surfaced, and although not all, I really want to go back to the PRO to say that do we have any injury list? Because one, there was one person you mentioned that was put off in the last game and now is available for selection. Is that the only injury list that we had then that is also available today for selection? Or what is the injury list like at Onduparaka, or every other player is fit for selection today ahead of the clash with Lugazi at 4 p.m.?
Of course, everyone that knows the club's moment in there, I can confirm to you that 2 players are not yet still at the camp, and that is Faizo Sechanzi and Kanakulia Jimmy, who, of course, I want to say again, said they had family issues, so we don't, you know, when someone comes to you who has family issues mentally, sometimes you need to make sure this person recovers. It affects you mentally. Maybe the person has, is because football is all about mentality. It's about the mental strength you're having. Who wouldn't want to risk somebody to come and again have the same issues in the club than instead playing football? Because this is business and you need to come and do the business. It's like a job. It's a profession for very many players. So after playing, you need to come and do it. So if you have a mental disorder, just like when I'm here, and I'm not feeling well, I can't force myself to come here. I rather tell the station manager, I tell the programs manager that, you know what, I would not be able to come because I think my mindset is not clear for this. It's better than again coming here and then you either faint on camera or your mind, you don't say what exactly is. So you need a sound mind to give people the best. So that's the similar thing in football, a small thing, just like even right now. Most of the times players are told not to receive calls before. Maybe like 1 day, 2 days, they are told not to be with phones, because wherever you are in the camp, they may call you. You have lost so and so, you have this challenge at home, and it disorganizes you up to the game time. So, which of course is one thing, you know, people love their families, people love everything. So when someone has family issues, we give you that time. First get well, then come back to us. So those are the two. We did see Mandela Malis because of, I think last week also, he was a little bit injury knocked, but he's back fully. He is in the squad that I read. So it is just all unto. We had Debryan, who was one name that came back the other time. He's still back into the team because he had training sessions enough. After the papers, he had a clear mind. He's well prepared for the games. So he will also be right there to see that he fulfills the game. But all in all, the team is well, and there's no much talk about it, no much injury about the team. Only plans are going ahead for the January transfer to see that maybe more could be added into the team. So those are some of the things at the team. But for now, focus is to finish the remaining games of the first round. Then from there, we can cross over to see other games later.
Yeah, Owen Ezaga, the public relations officer for the same club, the Caterpillars on the Parka Football Club, has given a length about today's encounter. The kickoff time is at 4 p.m. East African time, and at the same time the game is live on FUFA TV. That's not the only game to be played. We also have got other games, and it started on Wednesday, a day before, and we saw the team of Mbale Heroes edging Ndege by 1-0, and the same day we saw the team of Blacks Power losing Narol into the hands of the team that's Police by 3-2. And today we all have in one game, the one we have just been discussing, and actions will return on Sunday, whereby Calvary will have to maintain their home ground as they take on Mbale Heroes. Karo Karunzi on the same day, that's on Sunday, will face Kataka. IST Inda Boys travels away to Ndege University, and the Boma, of course, will have to test the hostility of Chetume. And of course, on Monday, one game to be played. Jinza North United will be having a date up against Tigez Homeboys. And equal, this game will also be live on FUFA TV. Before we narrow it to what is happening within the region of West Nile, basically West Nile Regional League, you may summarize about Ondo Paraka. Owen.
Nothing much to summarize. I just want to say the best team in the country, that is right there, Ondo Paraka Football Club, and it's one thing that I can give you. The aim is to bounce back and make sure that things go well with what exactly is supposed to be, the way it's supposed to be put right there at Ondo Paraka Football Club. So I only want to urge the fans who are watching, who are viewing, that yes, it's the right time for us to make sure that this goes into the rightful order. We should be pushing everything to support the club, Ondo Paraka Football Club, wherever you are, because we're here to see that the club needs to progress to the next level. And it is one of the biggest things that we should be thinking about. And adding more of what exactly needs to be added into the team is very, very key and very, very vital. So it's one thing that we can push, and it's a do-or-die game today in terms of looking for the win for Ondo Paraka as a club. But for, of course, Lugazi, they will also need looking forward. They will also be looking forward, by the way, to maintain a clean record against the West Nile entities. Remember, they came even up to Calvary and got a chance to win their game away from home. So this time round, I'm getting this to the biggest way. Could there be the chance? Could that be the chance for them, probably, to prove to the world that this is what we can do? It's one of the biggest things that you could be asking yourself. But all in all, it's a tough encounter. You shouldn't take it jokingly. With due respect we give to Lugazi, they are good side, and we feel they can do much better to see that also they give hard time to us. But of course, we also right there, you know, they have the 12-man player, which is the home side, the fans, but we also have fans that side. We have a lot of West Nilers in that side, and we expect them to turn up for the game. I already saw Kampala team already heading that side. So we shall be witnessing exactly how the team is going to be assembling itself and making sure that this works out. So yeah, we're expecting a win for us as Ondo Paraka, and for them they're also expecting a win, I know. So it's all about what you put in the display. everything is left into the hands of the
Yeah,
players.
Susie talked about the win on the side of Onduparaka. You have equal talked about the win on the side of the Caterpillar. Susie,
She talked as a pundit. For me, I talked as the
Yeah.
PRO. That is the aim.
Benson, I said yesterday I'm seeing a 2-1 for the reason Onduparaka, but then I equally said exactly the words the PRO has said, the 12-man squad, we wouldn't rule that out, and I wouldn't also rule out Lugazi because they're equally a very good side based on the table standings. They are in a better position compared to the reason Onduparaka, slightly ahead of Onduparaka. And I'm actually getting to repeat. Okay, I don't know if you repeated my words because I already said them yesterday. I will also go back to you, Benson, as a pundit. What are you saying, or what are you anticipating ahead of this game, or what could be your predictions?
To me, I'm seeing Lugazi winning this game. Why am I saying so? They have a very good tactician who has been employed newly, Makumbi. That is the first thing. The second thing is you look at the table standing right now. It's favoring them. They are at home. That's why, to me, I'm looking at Lugazi. Onduparaka may prove something a little, and that little thing I'm talking about is a draw. So let's narrow it to the region of West Nile, and we talk about West Nile Regional League. Games are kick-starting today, and Yumbe Heroes, of course, in Nile Zone will be open the campaign of Match Day 4 with the Nyai Youngsters. That comes from Koboko, and tomorrow we are having around 5 games to be played, and these games will continue till Sunday. Nyahama will take on Das Kuluva Rainbow as Alpha Rising Stars takes on Pajob United. Meanwhile, Paida Black Angels taking a trip away to Padre Rising Stars. Juman Town Council will be returning to Paridi Stadium as they take on MTC FTL of Moyo, and Koboko Rising Stars in Nile Zone will take a trip away to Coach Abba. And then on Sunday, Zeus Central will take on Pakwa Super Eagles as Paida United will take on Nebi Central, and Pakwati Youngsters in a very big encounter will host Dasarwe City, and BK City in Nile Zone will take a trip away to Yumbe Hospital, and Total also in the same zone will be facing the hostility of Tipsa, and Match Day 4 will actually be concluded by a tough game between Araka up against Oda Matako Central. One game to be played today, Yumbe Heroes, that is yet to win a game up against Kuluva, not Kuluva, rather up against Nyai Youngsters. So this game is actually today, and the kickoff time is at 4 p.m. Owen, Yumbe Heroes, that's sitting in the relegation zone, hosting Nyai Youngsters. Are we seeing their season beginning today?
All new teams into the league, teams that probably are going to be wanting to prove to the world that it is the time for them as new entrants to show what exactly they can. Nyai, we have started, okay, I've heard about Nyai for a couple of times. Teams like Nyai, teams like Tipsa, teams like Koboko Rising, teams like Bamure Red Stars in Koboko. Yeah, I've heard about them. Nyai is one of them that you could talk in a long run. And I want to say, this is one big thing that beats my understanding most of the times when these teams get there. You know, this level is good. People don't demand for much. Though these days also they demand for sign-on fee and the rest. But it is one team that I would have expected right now be very far, Nyai. But only that the support is always a little from people. So it's one thing. But this encounter today is new entrance derby, I should say. Yumbe and Nyai, Yumbe Heroes and Nyai will be proving. Heroes also have heard about them, but it took them a time to see that they got also back into the regional league. So it gives them an upper hand also to see that they need to push. But all in all, I feel the home team has the upper hand, as the visitors will have to sweat plasma because of how exactly they are. So it is time to prove who is who. The home team has an upper hand, but I'm seeing this game ending to a draw.
Yeah, Susie, 2 big fixtures to talk about in Nyagaki zone. We are seeing Paida United having a game up against Nebi Central. Nebi Central of late, they have not been doing so well. And also at the same time, Pakwati Youngsters, I should say it is top of the table class, because Pakwati Youngsters, they are the ones on top of the log in Nyagaki zone. And they are hosting a Rue City that is sitting. Rue City, actually, they are not sitting second, rather, they are sitting third on the log, because second is Paida Black Angels. Pakwati Youngsters up against Rue City, and at the same time, Aluru Derby, Nebi Central up against Paida United.
Pakwachii Youngsters and Arua City. Pakwachii sits first on the table. Arua City sits third on the table. And Arua City is visiting. Recently, they played a draw with Nepi Central at home, and I will say they are still unbeaten because I literally thought maybe they were going to lose to Nepi Central playing back home, but they did their best. They scored in first, and then Nepi Central came in there to equalize that game. Today, going away, we've seen Arua City equally play a good game while they're away. We've seen them pick a win. Before they played a draw with Nepi Central back home, they had actually traveled away to Zeu to pick a win right from the other side. And this time around, traveling away to the team that sits at top of the table, it's going to be a little bit hard for there is Arua City to pick in a win there. Basically, the best I think Arua City is going to pick away to the home of Pakwachii is going to be a draw, Benson, because if you literally look at Pakwachii Youngsters, these boys play out their hearts. They are very good, and there are quite a number of good players that Pakwachii Youngsters has, and equally Arua City also has a lot of good players in the same squad. So I will say, to me, this is the best team from Arua playing another best team from Pakwachii. But literally, I am seeing a draw in this game, and I think the draw is going to be a 1-1, a 1-1 draw in this very game. And then another tougher encounter you talked about was of Paida United and Nepi Central. Paida United, Nepi Central at Luo grounds, and Nepi Central is home, and up against Paida United. Nepi Central recently came to Arua to pick a win. For me, that is what I saw, because I remember watching that game with Owen. And the way Nepi Central presented itself from the fan base, guys came in, Fuso, tipper lorries and all that, even motorcycles. So you literally see the sacrifice that the fans made towards this. And if they were able to travel this distance to come and support their boys, today they are home. How is the population going to be like? We've literally seen, we saw from the time these two teams would play friendlies ahead of before the season began, and they're doing build-up games to prepare in for the season. You would see a huge number. There was even a time, I think, 14 million was collected as the gate fee. Just it was a friendly. So today, I think it's going to be a very mass one. This is one of the biggest. This is going to be one of the biggest encounters in regional league, I would say. And these games are going to be tomorrow, I would say, and would literally expect a very huge one. But then I would give it to Nepi Central, because I don't think they would equally accept to losing another 3 points when they are home.
Yeah, flashing back and relating it to what happened last season in terms of the table standing. All these 4 teams you have just been discussing actually they finished in top 4 in Nyagaki zone. Equally, we are having some big encounters coming in 9 zone. And Araka this time they are battling on Damasako Central. Damasako Central is a recent game they played a draw with the team of Coach Urban. And Coach Urban, of course, they are returning home to Dase Boma, and they are taking on Koboko Rising Stars. Owen Zaga, are we seeing this time Coach getting back with the 3 points up against Koboko?
Lucy investments under that, and of course the coach that tried level best is not the coach that is pushing like last season, because they have gotten also teams that have prepared really very well for the season right there. But all in all, it doesn't mean that they are not favorites. They still have chances to see, because if you look at the table standing right now, you'd see that where Kochi lies is not where the one would be expecting them to be, because last season they were, of course, number 1 there. But Coach Urban has 6 points out of, they have now 6, I think, because 7, because they played a draw out of the 3 games that they have played. This is their match day 4 they are getting into. So you'll be expecting, yes, maybe they have not also lost. They are trying to push in them, but it's tough encounter in there. This season, unless I will see 5 games, 6, let's say 10 games played, first round, then I would say maybe this team is able to make sure that they get there. But they have good players. They have added in. The boys are together, and it's going to be. They are one of the favorites, by the way, to still make it to the qualifiers, because Tipsa always is a team that lies a lot to me. I've seen them play. This time around, they are playing in a good ground, and they are leading the table, by the way, after getting there, after playing the 3rd game. So looking at what exactly they need to put in there, I don't see them stay there longer because it's still 3 games. Most of the 2 games, I think they are played home. And you still have away games to go, so that is one. But you've seen the challenge of Okochi Urban going out. Even their 2 games, they won them home. Then it was this away one that they had a draw. But if you can get a draw outside, it shows you value, or get a win. And that is one thing that is there. So it's going to be a tough encounter. But I want to say on part of West Nile Television that people of Panduru, probably tomorrow we could be there to see that the game between Alpha and Padea should be also one of the games to be watched. So we finalizing the day today, probably to make sure that I know very many would ask why we have not indicated that, but it's one of the biggest things that you're seeing that will be coming right there. So for those who are on television, you should be ready to watch that game live on your television, and for those who will be following also from the streams and the rest, you could be following them right there. Yeah, those are some of the things I can put for now.
Yeah, our time for the first phase of the show is up. We are getting back. Don't move away. It has been me, Benson Pastore, together with Susie Linda, not forgetting about Owen Ezaga. We have not talked about the Star Times Uganda Premier League, but don't move away from your TV. We are turning back shortly.